Hi, Lime.
Hi, Svyatoslav. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Just do you see me
I
or
cannot.
not?
I just see orange right now.
Uh, so and how to make me visible? I don't know really. So let me make again because I have a working a camera. I don't know why it is showing only orange screen.
And
Sorry for that.
that's all right. It's not a problem. Don't worry about it.
So I understood. So I will make right now a moment. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Uh-huh. So here I am.
How are you?
Fine, fine, thank you. So I'm now not in Philadelphia, unfortunately. So I'm now in Moscow. So for I will in Philadelphia only in April 23rd.
Okay, okay.
Is this okay for you, or this is some scary
No,
or
no,
not?
no, no, no. You're good. You're
Okay.
good. Yeah, your screen's a little bright. I'm just adjusting mine.
Yeah,
No, you're
a
good.
moment. If I will, right.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
much better. Okay.
Yes, thank
Mhm.
you, Svyatoslav. So,
So
yeah, I'm not sure. Have you any familiarity with clinical leader?
you mean as a resource, or as a magazine, or as a as a direction, as a way?
No, as the resource, the magazine.
The resource. Yes, yes. I subscribed for your newsletter, for other information from you. I don't remember from what. Also to the clinical leader, maybe some other magazines in clinical trials industry. So, but now couldn't remember exactly.
That's all right.
Uh,
That's all right. Yeah, but my purpose for the call, I work for Clinical Leader. We are a publication in the space, pulling content from vendors as well as guest contributors and people from pharma companies. Our editorial team brings them in to write about, helpful content to help sponsors run better trials. That's our goal is to provide information on how to go to work. Solve challenges like patient recruitment, vendor selection, vendor management, all the challenges that people in sponsor companies face. And part of that job is talking to professionals like yourself out there in the industry, and learning more about what those challenges are like. How are they evolving? And with your background in patient recruitment, I'm excited to just kind of pick your brain and learn about what are the challenges now. How is the scene evolving? Patient recruitment's been a challenge for decades. What is new? What are the new solutions that you're seeing? And how can we write better content, create better events, better serve our readers to, solve their challenges?
okay. So when as I told you that I am trying to prepare to this conversation, and so maybe you have a chance and to look to my articles, some articles we issued in in many different resources. So I'm now why I'm here, because I'm now doing the scientific research in the clinical trial, and based on of course on my experience. I started since 2000. So I'm graduated physician in 2000. I have a diploma as a pediatrician, and joined to the clinical trial industry in 2006, when I started as a sub investigator. It was the first my clinical trial, and in that time it was some hard time when everywhere was investigated everything. So and then I moved to this was in Saratov. It's some small town in the south of Russia. Then I moved
Okay,
to the Moscow and joined fully in with Ergomed. It was my first company, Ergomed.
right.
At that time, it was a clinical, some small company. And now it is already big companies.
Yep.
So maybe you heard about this,
Yeah, we know
and
Ergo
maybe,
Med.
yeah, a year ago we again back to the from the public company again to the private company, by was purchased by the big um, trust. And so for that 15 years journey, clinical trial industry changed dramatically. So firstly, very big challenge was pandemic, which there was from so very big shift was from central clinical research to the decentralized clinical research.
Right.
This was one very small way until pandemic, and on the pandemic it was dramatically shifted,
Right.
move higher. So this is one big challenge. This touched everything: recruitment, investigator, so all of the stakeholders, from the sponsor and even until customers. Then also it follows, or not, technology follows that big shift. So technology is also explosive growth of the technology.
Right.
And this is and now there is so much technology. I'm sure that you know mostly of them. And when so since a year ago, I joined to some consulting sites like Gridpoint, etc. And mostly of the requests about the new technology platform, like risk-based management, like to each of the weak points of the clinical trial, developed a platform. So, and this really also big challenge. You should even when company is hiring somebody who is professional in this, they highlighted that you should be technology familiar. I don't know. So I don't know what exactly they mean, but my understanding that at least you should understand some basic points of that technology. This is another one challenge. So then, so a moment, I will. So I published one article which I titled "Trends Until 2023 Year in Clinical Trials." Can I share with you my screen?
Yeah, yeah. Is it enabled?
Yeah, a moment. Yes. For me, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
And moment. So this is which was published, and here, well, by the way, based on this article, I started to make some points for my speech with you. A moment, opening.
Okay, yeah. I'm looking at your email right now. I don't know if that's what you want to be sharing.
But now should be already the Word document.
No,
Do you
I
see?
see the email.
A moment. It is opening, because I have very old laptop.
No
Do you
worries.
see? Do you see now?
No, maybe you're just sharing the tab. Maybe you need to share your whole screen.
Okay. A moment. Uh, Sorry. This is
No
what
worries.
I told you. So I will now stop sharing, and so again, this one. Okay. So now you should see. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And this is was the article which I issued in 2023. It was one of open source resource. And so what also the why this was my internal call to make this compiled the article about the trends, because which was by my opinion, and I selected two, highlighted two trends, big trends. One trends which from the molecule or treatment or other which in industry is now investigating, like now more and more is doing for gene therapy, and also some genes diagnostics, and for other trends is for the how it is investigating. I mean for the trends in clinical trial sponsor, and so from that 2 points I made this research. So what I highlighted. So in clinical trials, it is decentralized, also personalized. Clinical trials is also one another one challenge. Means not only that clinical trials now more and more patient centric, but also the treatment also becoming more and more personalized on the gene diagnostic, on the some many other markers which are investigating already investigated on the very deep level. Also it is now due to some pandemic, it also developing virtual clinical trials, but virtual clinical trials, there was some approaches until pandemic. Why I put the pandemic, the years of pandemic as a red line, because pandemic called explosive boost of technology. That's why virtual before before was like doing some theoretical approaches to in attempts to predict the efficacy and safety, doing only some small approaches.
Right.
Now and also going forward using artificial intelligence, so virtual clinical trials already doing from the preclinical phase. I mean they are already selecting the new molecule. We also can call this virtual, and until even if we set up efficacy and safety, and this also could be based on artificial intelligence, make even until adverse event, etc., etc. So until late phases of the clinical trials. Also, what now is doing more and more is Bayesian statistic, which so it is statistic not which allow sponsor and during the clinical trials decrease the number of way so where data is so have no already some sense. So it is now also is developing. Another one is real world data and real world evidence. This also now doing this more and more. I didn't participate exactly in that clinical trials, but it is the pressure by this approach is more and more increasing.
Right.
So what else?
Yeah, so just to hone in on the Bayesian the part, are you saying that in using the Bayesian statistics, you're able to I guess get more data with stronger confidence without as many
Yes.
participants? You can have maybe
So it is like we do. So Bayesian statistic allows you not to make a big so just to generate many data figures, etc. from all of the possible like I don't know all of the possible and visible way,
right.
but gradually going forward or moving forward, they cut the not needed data, and this
Okay.
is basic of Bayesian. So
Gotcha.
honestly, and so I'm in my scientific research in clinical trials is touching the predicting of enrollment. And when I started to when I'm making the literature search, I discovered then this approach Bayesian statistics was developed in middle of last middle of last century, means 20th century, and this is
Right.
very old approach, honestly. So don't think that it is just now developed. And in that time, it was 200 approaches to predict something. I mean, to make a prognosis. It was mostly developed in the economy, but it is fully applicable for any other activities of humanity, of means human activities, action of human
Right.
beings.
Yeah. Behaviors. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
And so back to my scientific research. So and based on only empirical tools, I developed some tool which allow to predict the enrollment for the clinical trials. Is mostly in the multinational clinical trials. So I also published this some scientific papers. Then what else? This is trends I put in table. This is trends related to the conduct of clinical trials, and second big trends is related to the research of new drugs or methods. So there is some small trends. So mostly it's remote. But anyway, so as I'm tracking the from my scientific research about the enrollment, I see that enrollment as a weakness point of clinical trials is still reached 80-90% in all of the clinical trials whole of the world. That's why so this is still big challenge, so to recruit the patients to the clinical trial. And nobody still by the way, clinical real Dan Shell, also your author, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So I saw him, I saw his video, and he's still confirming that it is still a big challenge to recruit the
Right.
clinical trials. All others is technology. So all others challenges related with technology, related with big budget. But I can also what I'm now in some course of Master of Business Administration with Valor institution, and so they are teaching me how to do an economy, and so I can say that you also maybe observe this. Clinical trials has no so big advertisement. So and anyway, it is more and so everybody would like to participate. I mean, sponsor and other stakeholders would like to participate in clinical trials. So I mean that there is some permanent demand by the disease, and so this is not challenge, but it is a traits or features of clinical in common features of clinical trials. So everybody will be sick, more or less. All human beings on any of their ages could be sickness, could be. This is my son. So, a moment.
No worries.
And no, so the problem of budget also is some controversy in clinical trials. From one point of we have a very permanent demand by the sick people, by the patients.
Yep.
But from and so if they are and the amount of patients does not decreasing, only increasing. This means that the budget of the clinical trials should go down, but it only go up. It's also some controversy, and from one point of view, technology should decrease the cost of clinical trials, and everybody who develops such technology think about it, that using our technology the cost will go down, but it's not really true, because and last challenge which I saw maybe yesterday, I noticed some paper maybe by your distribution list, that from one clinical trials it was involved more than 20 vendors.
Yes, yeah, we did put out that article. Yeah, I saw that. I was shocked by that.
And this is not last figure. It could be more and more.
Right.
And investigator is complaints about the very much platforms they have to use during only one clinical trials, and this by the regulatory is requiring to make a training for all of that platform. So and in light from the perspective of the decreasing cost, it really challenged, it really barrier which influence to the recruitment, to the, by the way, to the integrity of data, and the duration of clinical trials. And for example, FDA form 1572 requires 100 hours to be filled. Do you know about it? Did you know about it?
No, this is I don't know about this.
So it is written on the second page of that form. So 100 hours investigator or responsible person should spend only to fill that form. when I tried to explain that to one of owner of 10, he started to scream me, because it's not true, it's not possible. because when I negotiating that budget, they is putting for that documents like 30 minutes, and that's it. So it is also is some, I don't know how it is paper, but now is already, by the way, also one challenge doing paperless means only all of them going to the electronic form, and Energomed, where I'm now have also only of consultation hours. So they said me that now signature is only electronic, so use only electronic signature. So this is so. I mean, the trend is. Do you see that the trend is digitalization? I mean, digitalization is everywhere and
Right.
everything.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting to hear, you know, because we work, you know, we talk to readers from sponsors, and they articulate a lot of the same challenges you're discussing.
Uh-huh.
Patient recruitment, the amount of vendors they have to one know about. You got to know what type of technology, because there's a new acronym or a new technology coming up all the time. Who are the best options in that space? And then to select them takes time and energy. To train yourself on them takes time and energy. And then to manage 10, 15, 20 vendors across a study becomes a challenge. Or if you have your CRO do vendor management for you, you know, how do you know that the CRO is properly monitoring all 20 of your technology vendors? But then, you know, we also help those vendors advertise. And so when we talk to them, they believe their technology is the solution. You know, it will make the trial faster, cheaper, better. And there's such a disconnect between the technology providers and the actual users. And we try to bridge that gap because, you know, you do an EDC, a good EDC platform is useful. You know,
Uh-huh.
you need good EDC, you'll need a good IRT or RTSM. Um, and so these sponsors need to have good relationships with the tech companies, but there is a disconnect that we're trying to help solve and to help work on. So all of this paper is fantastic. These trends are great. Um, would you ever be interested in writing maybe a summary or some kind of uh, maybe adaptation of this paper and contribute that to clinical leaders? That's something you're interested in?
Yes, yes, ever. And also, I also interested in this video, which you are now recording. Is it
Yeah, yes.
possible? Okay. And so what I remembered also, one time when it was maybe 10 years ago, uh, I received a call by Greg Koski. Greg Koski was a commissioner of FDA, and then that time maybe or he already on the patient. So since that time, he and his team started to develop a standardization for all of the sites for whole of the world. So and this is because we have SOP for sponsor. It is first small, very small amount. Then SOP for SOP for clinical research organization. It is more amount, but we have no SOP at all. I mean, standardized SOPs for sites, which are millions. And this is also one of the challenge because as SOPs could more or less be standardized between sponsor and CRO, but it could not be done for the millions. But Greg Koski would like to have this, and he created the Alliance of Clinical Research Excellence, ACRES, acronym ACRES. But since that time, I didn't see any moving. So there was some approaches, but my understanding that this is a good idea, but not possible to realize make to um, so to make it live, I
Right,
can say.
right.
And this
Yeah,
is
that's
also
really interesting. I'll look into that because I haven't heard much about standardized SOPs for sites recently
Mhm.
either. So I wonder if that's still
This was the intention of the Greg Koski to make all of the sites for more or less working on the understandable and so transparent procedures.
right. Yeah, that would be really interesting I mean, quite the challenge to undertake. But
Yeah, yes, yes.
yeah, so to I guess zoom out a little bit, you know, you've
Ah,
read a few of
when
the articles on Clinical Leader, and I mean, you're not closely tied to a sponsor right now, as I understand it. I mean, are you working with any sponsors?
right now, no, unfortunately, no.
Okay. But I mean, given your
If
experience, what topics, trends, what type of content do you think would be really helpful to produce? Now, we're always finding, new interviews about patient recruitment or vendor management, but what aren't you seeing that you would like to see
If you
conversation
would
on?
like, we can. So I can. I will do the summary of that our of our current conversation. If you would like, so I'm will be very glad to discuss the patient recruitment, because this is what I'm doing since the beginning of my clinical list. But it is a really long, expecting to be long. So not because so. uh, it is already developed, and I moved here so deeply, so that's why I can say you much more in the patient recruitment. So if you would like, of course.
Yeah, no, I'll put you in touch with we have our guest contributed editor who she works with contributors about what you have a lot of experience in, what kind of content we're looking to write, and completely on your timeline, if you're interested
Mhm.
in contributing or not. She's a great person to talk to about what that
Mhm.
process looks like. But yeah, as far as even content or trends outside of your area of expertise, what are some of the challenges or things you want to see more on?
So uh, before our conversation, I make some points, and so challenges is um, clinical trials is the people. So, and people is um, um, who is working in any in a different time zone, different so, and just this is my point. Every clinical protocol is a unique action, unique. Um, so they will have, even that it is protocol and the standard procedure, but believe me, I'm see I am absolutely sure in this, and this is a challenge. Each protocol is a unique approach, and so the people in clinical trials should be flexible, should be professional. This is obviously professional, and they also must willing and must would like to develop herself, to be self-development. And I don't this is certainly don't mean that all of the people inside of clinical trials should be the like Einstein, but the some hiring some approaches to highlight the traits of the people should be embedded in some hiring process. So then also what it is second or second big challenge. This is I remembered. Sorry, it is a science. We should remember in mind that it is a science. It not only regulatory, it not only the as this is a science. It should move in not like jump, not like uh, kangaroo jumping. It is should move in very smooth and calm pace. It should not be done like listen, go there, then go back, and from there go there. should not be so. It is not applicable really. And it is recognized by the regulator. As I told you, FDA form should fill out during 100 hours. It is recognizing that it is a science, and this is a challenge.
Yeah. Are you saying that it is sometimes viewed too much as a business,
Yeah,
as opposed to a science?
This is like right, and industry is a business, but anyway there is a academic science, but it is not a clinical trial. It could be clinical trials, but of course I understand that as a business it should make business approaches, but anyway business people also should understand that this is a science,
Right.
and if if they will make something fastly, so at the end of the long term it should as you heard, this is a classic like thalidomide tragedy, so etc. So and is very and so clinical trials is very very live um, area of human actions, human activity. So that's why. So there is some reciprocal activity. Science people in science should should developing this science, but science also influencing to that people, and so it is reciprocal influences.
Interesting. Yeah,
So,
I really like that perspective, and it's a zoom out that we don't normally take. All the content's very technical, solving this challenge, solving that, and I like the perspective of how the industry should view itself and identify itself, and from a higher level, how to be more human and more effective. Yeah, so I think I'd love to get you in touch with our guest editor, Abby. I think that'll be a great connection, and see what comes from that. Thank you very much for your time, Sviatoslav. It was great talking to you, and I look forward to perhaps talking again sometime and seeing what comes of conversations with the editor.
Thanks, Lime. So I will now make some summary of our conversation and send to you based on that research and our topic, and you will share with me the video.
I'll share the video, and I'll get you in touch with our editor.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Have a good night.